Hi, thanks everybody for joining. I'm Kim Ureta. I'm a recovery wellness coach, and this is Essential Oils for Addiction. It's just a simple workshop where we can go over uh, basic oils and also pairing them with somatic experiencing techniques so that we can rewire our brain and find new ways to ground ourselves. So, just a little background on me. I drank for 19 years. I had an eating disorder for 7. Um, let's see. I probably had a sex and love addiction from a young age. So it runs the gamut of things, Amazon shopping. That's a big one for a lot of us. Nice little, you know, click for a dopamine fix. But addiction and all of the behaviors that go with it, thought addiction, substance abuse addiction, behavioral addiction, it all comes back to avoiding our feelings and not feeling comfortable showing people who we really are. And recovery is all about finding out who you really are and what you actually like, um, and being okay with showing up as you are. Like releasing perfectionism. Like I had to do before starting this recording. So, um, with having most people are affected by addiction. Either if it's been several generations back and your parents were raised by alcoholics or drug addicts, or their parents were, it starts this template of from age 0 to 18 of what you feel is normal. So everything that happened in that time frame, that's kind of like what we try to recreate in our adult life because that's normal. And what we find out later is, well, that's weird. That those things that happened, that wasn't normal. You start talking to people and like my mom used to make pancakes on Sundays naked. And that was normal to me. I'm like, doesn't everyone's mom make pancakes naked? No. That's actually hypersexual. Oh, okay. Odd. Um, things like that kind of form who we are. Like did your dad talk to you, before you go to bed, or like did your dad only talk to you like once a month? A lot like for me, my dad didn't talk to me. Maybe for like 10 minutes on a vacation when he finally was in maybe a body of water and he could actually relax and talk to me. But before that, no, he'd get home from work and zone out. And so it began the cycle of who I am, like don't be heard, don't be seen unless you're spoken to kind of thing. I know that there's a better way of saying that, but I'm a little nervous. I want to show up as best I can for you guys and share this information, so that you guys can go off and share this with other people because it is so prevalent, this avoidance behavior, using this, like every TV show, every movie we watch, they always have a drink in their hand and they normalize it in this really weird way. Like I was watching Love is Blind and they have this special, like everybody gets this special gold goblet. And I think they must drink their water out of it too, because it doesn't matter what time of day, they've got this wine goblet in their hand. Um, and I think that tells people in a weird subconscious way that you can be successful, you can be beautiful, and you can be functional, even if you're drinking at 10 in the morning. Or what I saw in my upbringing was, I can drink because I deserve it. So if I work really hard, then I can play really hard and I deserve it. Um, and what I found is I couldn't keep up with my family, you know? And I'm like, why am I not like them? So people have a lot of different experiences, whether your actual parents drank or did drugs or generations back. So some things that I've noticed with people, especially going to different meetings. I've attended AA, NA, Codependence Anonymous, Pain Anonymous, adult children of alcoholics, all kinds. And what I'll hear in meetings is people talking about all these physical symptoms they still are experiencing. They're like, I'm just in so much pain. Or, I'm stuck on this medication and it doesn't allow me to feel like my true self. Life feels gray and flat, and I'd really like a different solution. So what I found myself thinking, coming from my holistic background, because I used to be a colon therapist and a massage therapist, and I was surrounded by these people that knew information that's for this stuff. And I wanted to be able to share it, and that's kind of like why I created my online program, so that people could come and get those questions answered and feel like they're moving in a positive direction in their recovery. Because people can get stuck in their physical symptoms. Say someone's like, "Well, I finally got sober, and then as soon as I quit, I got fibromyalgia." You're like, wow, because that would make sense, right? The nervous system now has to re-regulate itself, and these inflammation markers go through the roof. Or, it could be an emotional connection. So different things like that. But if you guys have any questions like about your physical symptoms, go ahead and put them in the chat and we can go through them. A big one that I see with people is right when they get sober, they might have like a pink cloud period where they're like, I feel so much better. I wake up in the morning and I can actually wake up and I don't have a headache and I don't have these symptoms that I was experiencing. And they're experiencing a lightness in their body. But as soon as something comes up that might be a little bit triggering, they're faced with normal adult decisions, or oh, this bill is coming up, or I have a confrontation in my relationship. They're going to start to feel unsafe in their body again and go, oh, I need that thing that helps me feel safe. So in the nervous system, it's called a vagal response. And a vagal response is your anchors. So if you can think about, these are the things that make you feel safe, and who you are. Like right when I wake up, and I'm not proud to say this, I grab my phone. There's my first anchor. I grab my phone. So I go and I sit on the toilet and I go pee and I check Facebook. That's what I do. And I would like to change that, but I'm just being honest about right now. That is my first anchor. My next anchor is get my coffee. If I don't have my coffee, I don't feel right. So that's my next anchor. The next thing I got to do, well, I'm holding the baby, so I'm kissing and smelling and and hugging a baby. That's become an anchor for me. And I'm happy with that one. Maybe mid-afternoon, I want to put my sweatpants on. That's an anchor. That's like, I'm done for the day. I'm done. I don't want to wear normal clothes anymore. I'm going to take my bra off. I'm going to put sweatpants on. And I'm just being honest. And then maybe like after I've taken a walk around the block, I'm like, I feel like I deserve a cookie. And if you said I couldn't have one, I kind of would be upset. Right? Like, so think about that. Like, what are your anchors throughout the day that helps you come back to your body and feel like okay being you? And what I do in helping people kind of reprogram some of these behaviors and nervous system responses is like, so like for me, my one that I'd like to change is grabbing my phone. So I'm working on changing that one. My next one is I don't want to grab sugar in the afternoon, you know. But for other people, 5 o'clock rolls around. They're looking for a couple of glasses of wine, right? Or they're looking for their cigarette, or they want to go on Amazon on their phone and buy 2 yoga pants or whatever the hell they're going to buy. Because that's what makes them feel like satisfied and grounded. So to change that behavior, we need to reprogram the pathway, the neural pathway in the brain. So what I do is I'll grab my oil. So essential oils, they're proven, they cross the blood-brain barrier as soon as you smell them, and they're balancing hormones in your brain. And they can also serve as cognitive therapy. So if I'm thinking I want to go on Amazon and buy something, but I'm working really hard on getting financially fit this year, so that's not something I want. I'm going to grab, I have Supermint right here. But if you've got peppermint nearby, if you've got something else, go ahead and grab it. And I'm just gonna take a drop. And even if you don't have oils, go ahead and follow along with me. So I've got my oil here, and I'm just gonna make sure that I'm rubbing my hands together. And I've got my feet flat. And just notice. I'm gathering my energy back to myself. So I can't think about the past and I can't think about the future because I'm right here, right now in my body. So I do that for about 30 seconds. I have somebody joining, keep going. And then I'm going to take my hands over my eyes for another 5 breaths. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure and breathe. I'm just noticing.
No, I'm not. Yes. It's her.
Make sure, let's see, you're on mute. And then we're going to put a hand over our heart and a hand over our belly. And we're going to breathe in. If you can, I like to rock a little bit in my seat. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just notice. Did you feel your nervous system kind of drop back inside your body a little bit? So that's a really quick and easy tool that anybody can utilize. I would utilize that if you're feeling yourself go into flight mode. So there's fight and flight and fawn and freeze. So if a person is thinking to themselves, I need to do that thing that makes me feel grounded, like buying on Amazon or smoking a cigarette or eating a handful of gummies or glass of wine, whatever it is, that is you saying, I want to avoid my feelings and I'm not comfortable being where I'm at in my body right now. So this would help you get back inside. We're establishing in your brain that this is a safe place to be, right? If I was feeling, I'll go the other way, fight. So say I had a interaction in a relationship that made me feel like you're not respecting me or you're not hearing me or that's not fair or they shouldn't have done that with those types of things, and you're feeling yourself wanting to lash out or have an inappropriate response before you can process it and maybe respond in a more communicative way. We can do something, and you probably won't be able to hear it because my Zoom is gonna muffle the noise, but if you clap really loud. You can do it along with me if you want, and then you'll get the sense of like what it does. Okay, and then the other part I would do is I would push up against the floor or I'd push up against the wall for 30 seconds. So we are talking to the reptilian part of your brain that says there is a threat that I need to combat. So if I go along with my nervous system by the clapping, that's saying like I'm honoring that you're feeling, activated. And when I push up against the floor or the wall or desk, whatever's easiest, my brain says, okay, we have worked through the threat. So it doesn't have to be like, because I coach people that are really intelligent and they can talk their way around why something wouldn't work. And I'm because I've had that experience too. They're like, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't have to make sense because it's in the reptilian part of your brain. Like, remember Bobby Boucher with the alligator. Then the Abdullah oblongata. So I would pair that with frankincense or adaptive. So if you've got that one nearby, so I'll take my frankincense. The reason different ones do different things, if you think about it, they're grown all over the world. You know, they're put in different places. So like I am a creationist. I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. I don't think that the earth was a chance thing. I think that it was designed. So each plant has a very specific purpose and what it does for us. So frankincense is from the Middle East. And it's a connection with the Father. That's what frankincense does in our body. It's also helping to raise the serotonin in your brain so that you can start to balance. So if your cortisol levels have gone like through the roofs, remember that's the stress hormone, then we want to get that cortisol to come back down and we want the serotonin to come back up. So we're balancing our chemistry in our brain, and we're taking control over our nervous system. So it's just an awareness, you know, where we're building a higher awareness of what is happening, and you can kind of start to step back in your responses, like, and be more curious about what's happening, you know. In the past, my stress levels would go so high because I was stuffing my feelings for weeks at a time because I didn't want to disappoint my husband or my partner or people like in my life. I wasn't getting my needs met. I wasn't sharing people, you know, like my boundaries. Like, actually, I don't want to work on that project. I don't have time for it. But I was like, yes, 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 because I want everyone to like me. And basically, I would get my little, I call it the fuck it meter. Sorry for my language. So I would get to, fuck it. And I would have to drink for several days. And then the shame of letting everyone down. I had such deep shame, which, you know, if you end up coming to any of my classes, you'll understand that a shame spiral is abandoning yourself. It's you're saying, I am so wrong for having needs, which is crazy, right? But we don't realize what it is until we deep go into that rabbit hole of psychology and understanding. And the meetings are where the magic is. So we can learn all these different tools and kind of pick and choose for our own toolbox for ourselves, but having that connection with other people that understand, that actually gives you the, oh shoot, what's the name of that hormone? It's the one you get when you smell a baby. Somebody remembers, but it's the connection hormone. It's the one that that when you're giving somebody a hug or somebody understands you, you get a hit of that hormone. So if anybody remembers, put it in the chat. Can't remember the name. Anyway, moving on. So for me, I think the basic reason why I couldn't quit, I wanted to quit years before I could actually quit. And there's kind of this tough love theory that you hear most of the time, you know, like when you talk with family members and they're like, well, they just have to hit their bottom, which is true, but it's also like really not kind. Like, I'd say I wanted to quit drinking at 10 years before I was finally able to. You know, that I'm sure you've talked to people like that, right? They're like, I really wish I could quit. Even like think about it with a smaller situation like sugar. Like, I haven't quite broken up with sugar and I really wish I could. But it's not like that deadly thing. It will kill me eventually, but it's not like a drug or an alcohol or, you know, even a codependent behavior that's going to end in like a train wreck, right? So, I really want to bring that compassion, that there are tools that people could understand that will help you feel safe inside your body. And we can work on those anxiety and depression levels naturally. 'Cause I know so many people that I talk to that they're like, well, I went to the doctor and now I'm on several meds, and when I'm in therapy, I don't really feel like I can get my feelings out. Like I don't even know what to work on because I'm so numb, you know? And I can really resonate with that at a young age, being in rehab situations and group circles. And I can tell you, I was in therapy for 7 years as a young adult, and I can't tell you any of the conversations that were had. I can't tell you one. And not until I was separated from that side, that trauma of that medical community, where that's all they have. They have a hammer and they see nails. Was I able to actually like go inside and pick apart what I was feeling? Um, so beginning working with somebody that they're wanting to get sober, um, the main thing that's happening with them is they don't know how to feel their feelings because they've been living outside their body for so long. The first thing you'll say to somebody, like maybe a week into recovery, what do you feel? I don't know. They'll say, I don't know, because it's just this humongous yarn of everything that they have zero skills of being able to pick apart. So when I'm working with somebody in the group sessions, we're helping people find what an emotion actually feels like in your body. We're getting to know ourselves again. Like, so anger, that's actually like your values. Like, what are my highest values, right? So it's, for me, I'll tell you, it's willingness, it's kindness, it's uh, humility, it's laughter, it's being able to laugh at yourself. I guess that's humility. Um, it's not timeliness. So, you start to understand, like, what are my values and what really pisses me off? Oh, I love equality, and that's a hard one for a lot of people. So, when I don't feel like something is fair, I get really pissed off. So it's, you're learning how to identify what you're feeling and why. And you'll start to notice that in your relationships. And learning your love language, that's a big part of starting to understand who you are, and the love language of your close family, so that you can show them that you care. Um, a huge misunderstanding in before I was sober, and it almost destroyed my marriage, was not understanding the needs of my partner. That I was giving him what I wanted, but it didn't fit because it doesn't my love language doesn't say I love you to him. Does that make sense? Um, so those are the types of things that I help people get through to, and what you'd want to share with loved ones or important people in your life. Um, a big thing that I felt, and I notice this a lot with people, is they are in pain. They're in a lot of physical and emotional pain. So when they come to, decide that they're gonna, change, they need tools to work through that. So if you have deep blue oil nearby, this one is for physical and emotional pain. And it helps to lift the person out of it just for temporarily, so that they can kind of like get their bearings around a situation that they're dealing with. So I've got deep blue right here. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to rub my hands together and I'm going to breathe it in. Imagine all the people that are in pain, and that is something that they're stuck in a victim mentality. They're not able to move forward because, it's like life isn't fair. Like, why are they the ones that have to deal with this for long periods of time? It's just the next step for people to get physically well. to be able to figure out who they really are later. Another big one is people are afraid of going through withdrawal. I was deathly afraid of going through withdrawal because I would drink for a week or several days. And that was kind of why I continued to drink. And I've talked to many people, you know, when they're on pills, they continue to take it, even though they know it's bad for them, because they're so deathly afraid of coming down, because that means they're going to have to take off work. That means they're going to have to make up stories of what's going on with them. They're letting people down, like the list goes on, right? And that means they're going to have to come back to reality and face kind of what happened. So I've come up with an entire protocol, and I can share my screen with you guys. Let's see which one. No, it's not that one. This one. Here we go. Can you guys see it? Does it show the Beach Holistic Recovery Tools? Okay. And I can share this ebook with you so that you guys have it. I'll put it in the link, the chat. So this is the Aroma Touch Kit basically, but I put it together like why somebody would use lavender. So 4 drops in water is the equivalent to 80 milligrams of Xanax without the side effects and the psychoactive part. So if somebody is having like a panic attack or they're really struggling, they're like, I'm going to have to go to a barbecue and there's going to be other people that I'm, you know, worried about answering questions or what's going on in my life, whatever it is, the anxiety, put 4 drops of lavender in your water and you can help get your nervous system down so that you can manage. Balance, you're going to rub your hands together, breathe it in, rub it over your heart. It helps to balance your blood pressure. So if, you know, by chance you've drank too much coffee, you can kind of like balance it out so that your blood pressure is not through the roof, making your anxiety worse. And it helps to ground you. So these are some things. Remember, we talked about the vagal response in the nervous system. We're looking to trade up some of our anchor points throughout the day. These would be healthy recovery tools for those anchor points. Tea tree. I literally use like a bottle of tea tree a month. And it helps to release codependent relationships and thought patterns. So I'll rub it on my chest. I use it in my hair. So peppermint we've talked about. Peppermint is actually used, it's to buoy your spirit. So if you're feeling like really down and you know, like that shame spiral thing, peppermint kind of helps lift you out of it. It also gives you a little bit of energy and gets rid of headaches and stomach aches. And that happens a lot in withdrawal. You know, people just feel like crap. So I will share this with you guys. A big one that people will run into like maybe a month into recovery is they start thinking about like rationalizing, like I don't really have a problem. Like I'm okay. Look, I did okay for like 30 days. And that is a horrible trap. I actually have a 20 questions list and it's from Johns Hopkins University. Even if you answer yes to one of them, you qualify as an addict. It's like, have you caught yourself thinking about when you can get your next fix? Like planning your life around getting your next fix. Missed work, blacked out, driven drunk or high. Like, I mean, the list goes on, and I'm guilty. I think I answered yes to like every single one, you know? So I remind myself of that, and I also will attend a meeting. So when I attend meetings and I'm feeling like I'm fine, I don't really have a problem, I will hear people that are in the worst pain. And then I remember how I felt exactly that way. And I go, wow, thank you for keeping me sober because I never want to feel that way again. You know, that's why it's important to be a part of a community and not get caught in what they call stinking thinking, you know? So cravings is a big thing. we in AA, we call it HALT. That's the acronym. It's hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So if you're feeling like off balance and you're like, what is it that I'm feeling? I'm not sure. Okay, wait. Hungry, am I hungry? A lot of times if I have higher levels of anxiety, it's because I haven't eaten a warm food. Like I need to have some toast or warm up some soup. Just get something to ground myself and my nervous system. Are you angry? It means somebody crossed one of my values. So then it's very helpful to have that list in your mind of like, what are my values? Do I value time? Do I value respect? If you are a road rager, it's probably respect is one of your highest values. So you kind of have to figure out what is that. And then if you need to communicate something. Lonely, that you need some connection. Oh, that hormone, the name of that hormone is on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, sorry. And then tired, you need to take a break, that kind of thing. And then I use from doTERRA, they have a product called MetaPower, and they have many products that go with that, but it helps to balance the blood sugar so that you're not thinking like I need to eat like a whole bag of gummies or whatever to meet those needs for my blood sugar. If my blood sugar is through the roof, that might make me want to drink. It might make me want to overeat. It might make me lash out at people, all kinds of stuff. So I definitely recommend this MetaPower system, and I think I have a picture of it that I can show you guys. And it's also preventing memory issues in the frontal lobe. And that's a big issue, especially, for someone like me who was an alcoholic for 19 years. I'm at risk for Alzheimer's, and I want to heal my brain. And I want to maintain the gray matter in my frontal lobe. So I need to make sure that I balance my blood sugar, because nowadays they're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. So that doesn't mean I've continuously had a blood sugar problem like somebody with type 2. It means that I've had a roller coaster of blood sugar stuff, like when I drank a bottle of wine or, like sugar stuff. We don't want this to happen. It screws up your hormones. And we don't want to, be that person that forgets everything. A huge part of healing your body, and especially those hormones in your brain for prolonged sadness, which is like the FDA approved version of depression, anxiety, it comes from the gut. So we want to really balance our gut with really good, not just probiotics, it's prebiotics, it's postbiotics. And through doTERRA, the company that I recommend people get stuff from, they have like the most complete pro gut biome complex that's going to be working on all the stuff that's balancing your gut brain stuff so that it fixes the stuff up here. And I will share this with you guys. This was my first 60 days alcohol-free protocol. So it's really helpful. This is the adaptive system. This is the one that I'm using in place of prescription drugs. And I know that there are situations where people need to be like, there's a time and a place for psychoactive drugs, but it's way over prescribed. So I think that most people can get away with going natural so that they can actually feel more of their feelings and start to process so that they can, understand their patterns from the past so that they can make those changes in the future. So I really love using the soft gels. I take 2 of those at night, and I use the oil in my diffuser if in my office or in my bedroom. I use the roller as like a rescue. So I keep that in my purse or in the car. I'll roll it on the kids. I roll it on me because I don't want the patterns of my past to affect my kids. I want the healing to happen in this generation, So I'm sharing my tools with them. I don't say things like, oh, when you're done crying, you can come out. That's the kind of stuff we got, right? But that told us I should not show people my feelings because they'll take their love from me. They'll abandon me if I show my feelings, right? So then we stuff them. So what I do is I say, it's okay to be sad, it's It's okay to be sad. Like I am willing to be in it with you. I don't want to push them away, you know. And then this is the Aroma Touch technique. This is the oil massage. There's 8 different oils. It's just like freaking amazing. Like the chemistry of experiencing it, if you've ever experienced it, which I know Carrie has, it just like it lifts you out of whatever mood you're in. It gets rid of pain. It helps with illness. It's just like the best thing. So if you can get somebody else to do it to you, is just dropping the oils on your spine and rubbing it in. Or if you could just reach the best you can, but you want to get it on your spine. Here's my craving busters thing. Because of the eating disorder stuff, I really wanted to make sure I included this. It's very important to get proper fiber and protein and greens, because if your body gets its basic nutritional needs, then it's not going to go looking to fill in the holes, you know? So when you have, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then here's that MetaPower system. And they've actually added a new flavor of this collagen. This is the thing that got me out of my neck pain. I was in terrible neck pain, and it was part of what kept me drinking, was because it was one of the things that numbed the pain. I was like an old grandpa on numbing the pain. But the flavor, it's okay, but there's a new one that's pomegranate cherry that tastes way better. But especially for those that are experiencing discomfort in their body, and that making it hard for them moving forward in their own emotional recovery, this is a good choice. And for craving support. I am currently breastfeeding, so I can't use these products here because they have a lot of peppermint in them, and peppermint makes milk supply go down. So I'm only able to take the collagen currently, but these products here, they balance the sugar so well that when I was taking it while I was pregnant, I didn't even want cookies. I didn't want any sugar. As long as I took this larger bottle here, if I take 2 of those in the morning and 2 at night, I don't want any sugar, none. So, and here's my natural pain support stuff. A lot of people, they experience pain in their digestion because now like they're coming back and they're trying to rebuild. Um, it's very comforting knowing that there is tools to support balancing liver enzymes and the pancreas. I know a lot of people have to quit drugs and alcohol because of their health, and they end up in the hospital with pancreatitis and all kinds of stuff. So this would be really supportive for somebody looking for, something they can do at home, so that they don't feel like they have to go to the emergency room every time they feel something, But I will share this with you guys. Let me stop sharing. So every Monday, 11:30 a.m., we host a class or a workshop or a gathering or a meeting. It's called Healthy Emotional Processing. So that's where we learn holistic tools to pair with communication skills. And it's a really beautiful place to just come and share and be heard. It's one of my favorites. We've been doing it a little over 2 years. And so everybody knows each other at this point. And so it can become your home meeting. So you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. And then Wednesdays, it had been where we worked the 12 steps together using my workbook. This is Essential Oils for Addiction. So we went through the 12 steps using our holistic tools, learning somatic experiencing, breath work, and the essential oils so that you have more coping skills. But right now it's not a step group. So I'm turning it into recovery wellness. So it'll be a place to bring like physical and emotional symptoms that you are looking for support with. So that's Wednesdays, 4:00 Pacific. And then you have to figure out your time zone for wherever else you are. 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Yeah. Oh, starting Mondays, in the afternoons, we're going to be doing the whole somatic relaxation class. So we're going to be using what's called Yamuna balls. Where's my balls? Hold on. Oh, here's a ball. So they're soft. They're not hard. And we're going to be laying on on a mat, or if you would rather on a mattress, so that we can just kind of get really in touch with releasing emotional pain and patterns in our body. The issues are in the tissues, you know, things that we have experienced. I don't know if you've ever, like, you've smelled something or you heard a loud noise. There's not necessarily a story attached to the feeling, but it does trigger something in your body, you know? Like it could be like fear, or it could be like shame, different things like that. So we want to help to release that tension. Kind of like, imagine, like when the guys would come back from Vietnam and, they're asleep at night, and then, they wake up and they throw an arm and they hit their wife or whatever. That's when your nervous system, the coil, it gets really tightly coiled, and then it starts to let go. You'll hear even when people retire from another job and now they have more time on their hands, all of a sudden their anxiety goes through the roof. Have you guys heard that? They're like, I don't understand why this is happening to me. Like, I finally have time to take for myself. It's because your nervous system felt a little bit safe. And so then it starts to uncoil. And so now things are starting to come out. So I expect that for those in recovery and people I talk to, that when they start to feel safe, that things are going to start to come out. So I really want to include this physical practice for people so that they can start moving through their stuff. They're the only way out is through. If we stop the process, then you're going to get stuck there for a while until you're ready to keep moving forward. So that's why, like, I have my friend that's a yoga teacher here too, Jesus. He teaches yoga. So yeah, hi Jesus. So it's practices like that help get you back into your body. That's gonna, those kind of things, even like dance. So yeah, I'm gonna open it up to questions or comments if you like. So you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, so I think this is probably a silly question, but whatever. No question is a dumb question, right? So today in church, there's this gentleman, and he smelled so good, and that's all I could smell the whole time, and it was just kept catching me and kept catching me. And so what is that about again? It's just maybe reminding me of something, or
Well, what did you feel? Was it just a pleasant feeling?
yeah, it was like a comforting feeling.
Well, I'm glad it was a good smell.
It was a great smell. Yeah, and I
And
was like,
so
man, I wish my man would wear that. What is that? Who smells like that? It was really
well,
silly, but
chemically, I mean, you smelling it, it crosses the olfactory in your nose, and it's triggering, like good chemistry.
okay.
Like when you smell cookies, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, for me, I'm like Christmas.
Yeah. Had a happy time. Okay. All right. I had something else, but I'll think about it. I forget now.
Well, it's a good point you brought up, because scent is the fastest way back to our body and our memories. So it's very supportive. We're kind of retraining the smells so that it's a little bit NLP, it's neuro linguistic programming. So I took frankincense and I did a meditation, and I envisioned my son and I in Hawaii standing on like a little waterfall cliff, and he's older, and he puts his arm around me, and I can feel that my son loves me.
Oh,
So that was the vision I cast for myself, and it's associated with frankincense. So you can take a scent and you can program it with a vision that you want in the future, or that gives you comfort.
okay.
So I don't know, some hot guy in the church, now maybe that'll make you want to go to church.
Right. Well, I am willing to go to church. I like church. Actually, I've only been going for a couple of weeks. But so, and these are definitely safe for children, right? For kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the only ones, they're medical grade, that are tested and safe for kids and for animals and for us. All the other ones, they're made in a lab in China. Even if they say organic, that just means there wasn't any pesticides in it. So if they made it in a lab, there wouldn't be any pesticides. So it passes the standard for USDA organic. So even when people are like, but mine are organic, I'm like,
Right.
China.
Yeah, I got rid of all my other ones. I was like, Kim said these aren't where they're grown. These are fake and grown in a lab. And so yeah, I got rid of them.
Yeah. I will share if you guys want. There's a book called sorry, I have baby brain, but it's written by Dr. Danielle Daniel, and it's all about the chemistry of the brain and all of her published research. And she did it all through the University of San Diego. Yeah, it's over in my library. So if you're interested in that, then just message me and I can send you a picture of that book. Yeah. Also starting on the 25th of this month, I'm running a 12-week course for those that are interested in becoming a recovery wellness coach. So it's what I do. It's how I share with my clients. So people are coming to me because they didn't feel safe talking to other people. Like all those years I tried to get sober, I talked to energy workers, I talked to therapists, but I never felt like I could say, I'm an alcoholic and I need help, because I didn't want to be judged. And I didn't want to go to my doctor because my insurance was probably going to go through the roof, because now that's going to go in my chart, like how many drinks do you have a day? 10. That doesn't look good. So I didn't tell my doctor. And I didn't want to tell a therapist, because what if they're going to call CPS on me? Like, oh, well, how many children do you have? 3. Now it's 5. So I want people to feel comfortable. Like, I am going to talk to a recovery wellness coach, and they have experienced what I've experienced, and they're not going to judge me, and they're going to help me get through this time. So that's the kind of training we'll be doing. You'll be learning how to support somebody through this journey and feeling safe in their body. So you can reach out to me if you would like that link. It starts on the 25th of this month. So yeah. Any more comments or questions you'd like to share?
Kim, when's the somatic class start?
That is starting March 18th, and that's a Monday
What time?
at 4 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time. So if you would like to do that with me and you don't have balls, I think there's a couple of men in here, so you've got balls. But you need the Yamana balls. That's what I'm talking about. So you'll have to get with me, and I will talk with you about your body and figure out which ones are right for you. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, I'm so glad that you guys showed up and put up with my antics. Oh, you have a question, Gabriel? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you talking? Gabriel?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, yes.
Hi.
I was wondering, on the documents that you just showed right now through the presentation, are we going to be able to gain access to that?
Yes, if you registered for the Zoom class, then you're going to get that in your email.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I will put all of the information of the different classes and meetings that I spoke, so that you'll have that information to share. So Mondays and Wednesdays is always open to everybody. You can share that with people you like, so that I don't have to put up. Ideally, people you like.
Yes. All righty, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right, guys. Well, I will see you next time, and I'll email you all that beautiful information.